I'm not super old like you, but I've seen all of the Fast and the Furious movies, lady. It's all about family!
Shazam has already gotten a sequel, Shazam! Fury of the Gods, but will there be a third movie? Here's what the cast and crew have said so far, and who can Shazam team up with in the future. Zachary Levi told The Wrap in an interview that he'd love to keep playing this role. He started by praising the movie, saying, "I think Shazam! Fury of the Gods is objectively, actually, a better movie than the first film," the actor stated. "A lot of people don't think so." In another interview while promoting Chicken Run: Dawn of the Nugget, Levi talked about his approach to Billy's character in Fury of the Gods, addressing criticism that he seemed more immature than in the first movie. He explained that there was a meaningful reason for this change, especially when compared to Billy's more serious personality in the original film. He said, "From the first movie to the second, I tried to age him as Billy ages, in his actual younger teen form. Inside he's aging too. Obviously in the first film he was like 15, and in the second he's 17ish, almost 18. So I tried to address that and bring that into the character, which, ironically, in some ways, kind of made him feel almost a little more immature. But that's because when he's 15, he's not trying to be cool guy. When he's 17, he's trying to be cool guy. He's trying to be the leader, and he's trying to kind of put on that bravado more." In a recent chat with Fandango, Zachary Levi talked about the future of the Shazam franchise. When asked if he had any ideas to pitch to James Gunn, he admitted he hadn't really thought about it, mainly because the younger cast members are growing up so fast. That said, he did throw out a fun idea for Shazam 3, a zombie battle. Instead of any of the heroes turning undead, Levi thought it would be cool if they had to fight off massive hordes of zombies. Here's what he had to say. "With our particular franchise, it's been very difficult for me to wrap my head around what would be the move, partly because all the kids are growing like weeds, so I don't even know how that applies to the dynamic of what the movie's going to be. I've never seen a superhero zombie movie. Genuinely, I would love to kill zombies, and I think it would be really fun to do Shazam 3. Not an undead Shazam, but rather we're having to fight off like hordes of the undead." In another interview, Levi was asked what he'd want to explore with Shazam if he got the chance to return to James Gunn's DCEU. Along with wanting to dive deeper into Billy's growing maturity, Levi pitched a fun idea for a buddy comedy featuring Shazam and Nathan Fillion's Green Lantern. He even mentioned his longtime friendship with the Firefly star as a reason why it would be a great fit. He said, "But I think with the third iteration, obviously, he'd be a little bit older than that, and so kind of incorporating whatever that extra bit of growth and maturation and wisdom would be, and hopefully just go on some really cool adventures with some other cool DC characters. Nathan Fillion and I have been buddies for a really long time, and I think a Green Lantern Shazam buddy comedy would be so much fun. So, I don't know, something like that." I totally agree with him. I love a good team-up, and Shazam has had some awesome ones that show he's more than just Superman's magical counterpart. Since joining the DC Universe in the 1970s, he's teamed up with all kinds of heroes, from street-level vigilantes to Superman himself. Back in the 90s, Shazam and Starman were some of the best comics around, and in 1998 they finally crossed paths in Thunder and Stars. The story kicks off when Golden Age hero Bullet Man shows up in Fawcett City, needing help from his old friend Starman. Except there's a problem. Turns out, Bullet Man was involved with the Nazis, making him a wanted man. Shazam is sent to bring him in, leading to a tense showdown between the heroes. Thunder and Stars was a refreshing break from the darker, grittier comics of the time, while also revisiting a lesser-known part of DC history. It puts Shazam in a Superman-like role, tasked with capturing someone seen as a threat to the US. But just like the Man of Steel, Shazam isn't just about duty, he's also compassionate, trying to do what's truly right. Another cool team-up happened in Stealing Thunder with Shazam and the JSA. When the JSA got their own series again, Captain Marvel, aka Shazam, joined them in battling the Ultra-Humanite. This time, the villain actually wins, taking over the world and turning Earth's heroes into his own secret police. The JSA is forced into hiding underground, but they're split. Sandman and Wildcat are captured, while the rest try to figure out their next move. This story really cements Shazam's role in the JSA, making him their version of Superman in the Justice League. It's a mix of dystopian thriller and an underdog fight, with half the team stuck behind enemy lines while the others plan to take the world back. Next up, we've got Shazam and Superman in Day of Vengeance. This story kicks off when Superman gets possessed by Eclipso, turning him into a serious threat. Shazam steps in to stop him and bring him back as normal, but things escalate fast. As Eclipso's power grows, it throws the magical side of the DC Universe into chaos, pulling in heroes like Blue Devil and even Detective Chimp. With Freddy Freeman taking over as Shazam, this arc not only proves that the Big Red Cheese is the go-to guy when Superman's out of commission, but it also marks a big shift for the character. The highlight? An intense showdown between Shazam and Superman, with Eclipso using Captain Marvel's own kindness against him, leading to one of his most legendary battles ever. Moving on, we have Shazam and Batman in World's Finest. Jeff Johns and Dale Eaglesham's Shazam run mostly focused on his adventures through the Magic Lands, but issue number 12 took a detour to Gotham for a fun surprise. Shazam ends up in the middle of a scarecrow scheme against Batman, and after getting hit with fear toxin, he's completely frozen by his worst fears. Batman steps in to handle things, but Billy eventually fights through the terror and joins the fight. Titled World's Finest, this story follows Shazam's trip to Gotham to impress Freddy Freeman, but it also highlights how much he still has to learn. It suggests that with a little more experience, he could make a solid long-term partner for Batman. Plus, it gives us a really cool and heartfelt moment between the two heroes. Another great team-up was Shazam and the Justice League in Justice League International. After Crisis on Infinite Earths, Batman put together a new Justice League, bringing in heroes like Guy Gardner, Dr. Fate, Mr. Miracle, and Shazam. While the series had some great arcs, the real highlight was the team dynamic, especially with Shazam acting as a wholesome counterbalance to Guy Gardner's loudmouth antics. With Superman gone from the League, it was clear they wanted Shazam to step into his role as both the team's strongest member and its moral center. But between Guy's constant teasing and Batman's tough leadership style, it just wasn't the right fit, and Shazam ended up leaving. And finally, there's Shazam and the DC Universe in Kingdom Come. This story takes place in a future where Superman has retired, leaving the world in the hands of reckless anti-heroes. When things spiral out of control, he reforms the Justice League to restore order, giving metahumans a choice: join him or be locked up. Meanwhile, Lex Luthor and the Legion of Doom have secretly kept Billy Batson under mind control. When Billy finally breaks free, he faces off against Superman in an epic battle, only to sacrifice himself to stop a nuclear bomb. Despite everything he endured, Kingdom Come proves that Shazam was always a true hero at heart. His sacrifice not only saved his friends, but also pushed Superman to seek peace through diplomacy. Even though the story isn't centered on him, Wade and Ross make sure it's one of his most unforgettable moments.